truth. Okay. Welcome, folks. Okay. We're going to do we're going to I started it, right? We're online now, right? Yeah, of course. Okay. Rambam. I have a funeral to go to. Once again. Like 3 in the last 4 days. Okay. Listing the mitzvahs. Part 1. I saw okay, I saw fit that this book should go into 14 books. Right? Can I let in Tim, please? Liba. The first book I will include within all the mitzvahs that are the foundations of the faith taught by Moses, our teacher of blessed memory, those which a person must know before everything, the unity of God, blessed be He, and the prohibition against worshiping false gods. They're called the Book of Knowledge. Second book, right, that's where we're going to start. The second book I will include within it all the mitzvahs that are constant, and which that are constant and which are commanded to us that we will love God. It's called the Book of Ava. So the first book is the book of knowledge. Second book is the book of love, because we're constantly commanded to love God, right? And all things that we're constantly commanded, like he explains over here, constantly remember Him, recitation of the Shema, because we do that daily. Prayer, tefillin, priestly blessings, circumcision is included in this category because it is a sign of our flesh to recall God constantly. During the times when we are not wearing tefillin, scissors, and the like, I have called this book the Book of Love. Okay. The first book of knowledge, then the book of love. The third book I will include within all the mitzvahs that are associated with specific times, as Shabbos and festivals. I call it the Book of Seasons. Fourth book I will include within it all the mitzvahs that involve intimate relations, marriage, divorce, yibum, and chalitza. It's called the Book of Women. Sefer Nashim. Fifth book rather. I will include within all the mitzvahs that involve forbidden intimate relations and those that are involved forbidden foods. I've grouped the two forbidden intimate relations and forbidden foods together because it is in these two matters that God has sanctified us and separated us from the nations. Right? The Torah mentions the concept of holiness with regard to both of these matters, as it says, I'm the Lord your God. I'm God your Lord, who separated you from all amongst the nations, and I've set you apart from all the nations. Accordingly, I've called this book of holiness, Sefer Kedusha. Right? That's what makes us holy. The sixth book I will include within it all the mitzvahs that one is obligated to keep when he forbids himself certain things by his statements, vows, and oaths. I call this the book of utterances, Sefer Haflah. Seventh book, I will include within it all the mitzvahs that deal with the produce of the earth, sabbatical year, jubilee years, and tithes, and trumos, and other mitzvahs that are related to this subject. I've called this book the Book of Agricultural Laws, Sefer Zroim. The eighth book, I will include within it the mitzvahs that involve the construction of the temple and the communal offerings that are brought regularly. I've called this book the Book of the Temple and its Service, Sefer Avodah. The ninth book, I will include within all the mitzvahs that involve sacrifices brought by individuals. I've called this book the Book of Sacrifices, Sefer Korbanos. 10th book, I will include within it all the mitzvahs that involve ritual purity and impurity. I've called this book the Book of Ritual Purity, Sefer Tahara. The 11th book, I will include within all the mitzvahs that govern relations between an individual and his colleagues. I call it involve damage of property or a personal injury. I've called this book the Book of Damages, Sefer Nezikin. The 12th book, I have included within it all the mitzvahs that govern sales and acquisitions and property. I've called this book of acquisition of property, Sefer Kinyan. The 13th book, included within it all the mitzvahs that govern relations between the individual and his colleague and do not involve damages at the outset. like laws of watchmen, debtors, claims lodged against another, and their denial. I've called this book the Book of Judgment, Sefer Mishpatim. And the 14th and final book, I will include within it the mitzvahs are delegated to the Sanhedrin, meaning to the high court, right? Capital punishment when convicted by the court, the acceptance of testimony, the laws pertaining to the king, and the wars he waged. I'll call this book the Book of Judges, Sefer Shoiftim. These are all governing principles of the division, the halachas and texts according to the subjects treated in their different books, and division of the mitzvahs according to the subjects treated in the halachas. Now he's going to go through each book and what it contains, right? And that I have to finish over here. Sorry, I have to do a few